Less than a month after fears were calmed about the potential of a nationwide rail strike, rail workers reject a contract proposal negotiated between the unions and the companies. And if that happens, if a strike occurs, that could devastate the economy, especially as we head towards the holidays. Let's bring in my guest tonight, Andrew Donaldson, Young Voices contributor, up late with us tonight on the Final Five. I feel like the first time I had you on, we were talking about trucking. Now we're talking about trains. So what is it about you and transportation?
Well, I did it professionally for better part of 15 years, but hey, everything runs on transportation. It ain't the sexy stuff. It ain't the headline making stuff until it doesn't work. And then remember last fall, we had the things with the port. We know about the supply chain stuff during COVID. Then all of a sudden folks want to pay attention to it. I loved working in that career field because that's how stuff really gets done. It's just folks don't tend to notice it until something goes bad wrong. Yeah. And this has the potential to go bad wrong.
Well, and especially too, because you mentioned about just infrastructure and that not being, it's one thing to build the bridge. It's another thing to maintain it. And that's what we're looking at right now in some way, shape, or form when it comes to the rail workers, because there was this fear that there was going to be a strike. The White House stepped in. They said, hey, look, President Biden helped negotiate it. Crisis averted. They brought in the Labor Secretary, Marty Walsh. But what's the sticking point here? Why did the rail workers say, we don't like this deal after all?
Well, you've heard of a wheel and a wheel. This is a wheel and a wheel inside of a gyroscope. This has been going on for 3 years, these negotiations. And it's kind of like Top Gun Maverick. Remember, you got to have two miracles to make this work. There's two miracles to make this work because there's 12 railroad unions. So all the heads of those unions and the railroads have to come to an agreement. That's what President Biden jumped on, that, hey, we got this agreement. Actually, it was about 4 of the 12, and that was kind of the sticking point. But that's only miracle number one. Miracle number two is they've got to go back to their membership, and the membership still got to vote on, ratify, and approve whatever the heads negotiated. That's a two-step process. They threw a parade over the first step, knowing well and good the second step wasn't going to happen, and lo and behold, now we have some of those unions that are ratifying that are saying, no, this isn't good enough. And by the way, this is mostly over benefits, not actually over pay. So that's the problem they got into now. But the White House knew, and what's playing out now is because of things like the cooling off period, because of the union vote rules, they knew it would push it off. You know, SMART, the largest of the unions, they're not even going to vote on this until mid-November, pushed it past the election. So that's the dynamic we're dealing with right now.
Is that something, when you look at the political ramifications and you go back to just what you were saying about what is determined to be sexy and what is not, I mean, is that something that influences anybody there? Is this something that people actually keep in mind when you're making political decisions?
The White House is very apparent of it because this is 30% of all the freight in America runs by rail, and the ramifications will be far past that. Remember, last winter, the port held up. If you shut down the rail system for a strike, that's going to back the ports up again. We all saw what happened there. Now, for the public, though, remember the rail and things like transportation logistics, it runs on a little bit of a different calendar. So people don't really start thinking about Christmas till right around Thanksgiving or so. Right now is when a lot of that surge stuff, the blitz stuff, the stuff that gets sold during the holiday season through the first of the year, that's all in transportation right now. That's what they were trying to avert back in September. They did not want Christmas getting interrupted in an already shaky economy, because the old thing in media always was the only time you can talk about economics is when something bad happens. And Christmas, they really don't want a disaster over Christmas economically in an already shaky economy.
And especially, because you look at the last couple of years, if it wasn't us talking about cutbacks, well, people are spending less money in the first year of COVID, and then you look at the supply chain issues that we saw plaguing the holiday season in 2021, it sort of follows that old adage, if it's not one thing, it's another.
Right. And remember, these things all happen in a sequence, not in a vacuum. The port systems, the rail systems, the transportation systems. We talked about trucking long ago, first time you ever had me on. These things all work together, and one piece of that puzzle doesn't start working right, it affects everything else. Complicated things here, and there's not really sound bites for it. But what happened was they went for the sound bite without the substance, and now you have things like the Brotherhood Maintenance of Way employees. That's not actually a Game of Thrones fraction. That's one of these unions. They're coming up and say, and it only takes one of these, because remember, the other 11 unions aren't going to cross a picket line. So you only need one of them to muck up the work here. I still think this gets done because these aren't really outrageous asks. It's just complicated getting it all done. It's not in anybody's good interest to have a national railroad strike. I still think it gets done. I don't want to be doom and gloom, but if it doesn't get fixed and we don't have due diligence here, yes, it could be a big hit on the economy.
Well, I think, too, it didn't come into perspective for a lot of people, the effect that it would have on them until Amtrak and MARC and VRE started saying, hey, look, if these strikes happen, it's going to paralyze passenger service, too.
Yeah, because folks don't realize in America, we're the opposite of what Europe is and some other nations. Our freight system has right of way, and they own almost all the rail lines. So if you have a freight shutdown, that shuts down all rail traffic in America because freight has priority in America. It's been good for our economic development. It's part of the powerhouse that we are economically, that it's set up that way. But it's going to have wide-ranging ramifications if you actually go to a strike and don't avert it.
And one more thing about this, because you mentioned it's about the benefits more or less, not the pay. It comes down to, it seems, these days off, these paid days off, where it's kind of shocking. I mean, look, you can talk about unlimited time off in some industries and that sort of thing, but for many of these rail workers, they were getting barely any time off along the way.
Yeah, and to be fair to everybody, it's hard to schedule these rail workers because this isn't like picking up a shift where you can just cover your shift or take your half day off to go do stuff. They have to schedule these things way in advance. It's long hours. A lot of this involves a lot of travel. It's a very complicated schedule. So yes, they should get accommodations. Again, to be fair here, their asks here are not outrageous. They're actually pretty reasonable when you dig into them.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the unions can really overreach. I don't think that's the case here. Again, to be fair to everybody, a lot of this is just the complications of the system of trying to get 12 different unions to all agree on the same thing. But yeah, this isn't actually overpaying stuff, although they're asking for that too. This is mostly things like sick time.
Yeah.
And it's already a complicated way to do it. It just makes it harder when you get all the negotiations on top of it.
Andrew Donaldson from Young Voices, always good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you, my friend, anytime.
And the Final Five is back after this.